This airport shuttle runs on a bridge over an active taxiway, being the first system in the world to do so. It's also super long, taking 15 minutes to ride from end to end. Because it covers such a distance, I want to know if this is only useful for airport passengers or if you could consider it part of the city's public transportation network.
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Trains Are Awesome video. I'm Tom. I am at Phoenix Skyharbor. It's not an airport, it's a sky harbor. It's synonyms, it's different, but the same. Fun fact, I came in here on American Airlines and only realized mid-flight that today marks 100 years since the airline was founded. So that was kind of cool. They didn't really do anything to celebrate or anything, but now we're in Phoenix. Got a busy day exploring the public transportation here, but I thought I would start with the airport people mover. I have accepted the fact that I am the guy that makes videos about airport people movers, and this one's pretty interesting, so let's go find it.
And in a few weeks, I'm going to be the guy who made a video about a very specific part of airport people movers that I don't think anybody's ever done before. I don't want to give away too much, but subscribe to Trains Are Awesome because you will not want to miss this. It is some cool stuff.
So if you take the escalator down, you go to like the car area. You've got people waiting with signs and stuff. But then if you stay on level 3, you can connect to the Skytrain, which takes you to the light rail, but also to rental cars, parking,
and other transit options. Anyway, you can't miss the entrance to the Skytrain.
Okay, that is quite an epic entrance for an airport people mover.
Let it be known that I walked a good 15 minutes just to get from my gate to the station entrance, and then here there was yet another corridor I had to walk through. Finally, we reached the platforms, which look very typical for an airport people mover. Glass doors on both sides, which protect you from falling onto the tracks.
So after walking all the way to the station, you get to collect a medal for successfully completing a marathon, and then you can board the Phoenix Skytrain.
The Skytrain uses these Innovia 200 APM rubber tire trains. They're just like the ones that are used at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. They were built by Bombardier. The model today is owned by train manufacturer Alstom, who took over Bombardier. Alstom also operates the Skytrain service. The Skytrain is 5 miles long in total, or 8 kilometers, and I got on at the Terminal 4 station.
Train arriving. Please stand clear of the doors and allow passengers to exit.
What I'm going to do is take it all the way west first to the rental car center and then all the way east to the 44th Street station. Let's go. First, I want to talk about the Skyharbor name again, just briefly, because as someone who speaks multiple languages, I just find it fascinating. Many languages call their airports some variation of this name. It's luchthaven in Dutch, hukou in Japanese. In all of these, the first word can be translated as air or sky. And of course, port and harbor are synonyms. So Skyharbor, airport, it's basically the same word. I like to imagine that they just flew in a Dutch guy who paid better attention in architecture class than English class to build the place. Okay, obviously that's not what happened, but the guy who coined the name Skyharbor was a man named J. Parker Van Zandt. He was born in Chicago, but Van Zandt, or Van Zandt, is absolutely a Dutch name. So am I really that crazy? Yeah, probably. Van Zandt led a very interesting life, actually. In the 1910s and 20s, he was in the US military, stationed in Europe. There, he developed a lot of important aviation technology. When he came back to the States, he kept innovating and inventing, and he promoted the development of civil aviation. That is, non-military flights. As part of this, he founded a company in 1927 which sold flights over the Grand Canyon for tourists. He called his company Scenic Airways, and these planes would fly from a plot of land in Phoenix that he named the Skyharbor. Almost immediately, commercial airlines started using the Skyharbor as well. In fact, his own tourist business did not last very long. After the Second World War, the Skyharbor was expanded significantly, and it would ultimately become this massive complex that we're at today. 119 gates across 2 terminals serve over 50 million passengers a year, putting it in the top 20 busiest airports in the United States. Interestingly, the terminals are numbered 3 and 4. 1 and 2 existed, but they were demolished, and they never renumbered because people were already used to the numbers as they were. For most of the Skyharbor's existence, though, the Skytrain did not exist. Airport transportation was previously handled by buses. The Skytrain opened in 3 phases. The first phase opened in April 2013, followed by an extension in December 2014. The final phase opened in December 2022, bringing the line to a total of 5 miles long. And that is quite long for an airport people mover. In fact, in North America, only the JFK AirTrain is longer. The Phoenix Skytrain is the second longest airport people mover on the continent, and you can tell when you look at it on a map. The Skytrain is landside, meaning that it's outside of airport security. Anyone can ride, and that's why when you use either Apple Maps or Google Maps and turn on transit mode, you will see it show up alongside Phoenix's light rail system. That's actually how it captured my attention at first. I came to Phoenix to ride the light rail, and you guys, I was really hoping to follow this video up with that one, but the Phoenix light rail video is going to be such a huge project that I'm going to need a few extra weeks to edit it. Again, it's something fun to look forward to. But anyway, looking at the map got me thinking, even though it's the airport, could this count as part of the city transit system? On the east end, it connects to line A of the light rail, and on the west side, there are transit connections too. In fact, we're pulling into the 24th Street station, which primarily serves an airport parking lot, although there is also a tire shop within walking distance, which is famously a destination visited by droves of non-drivers. But more interestingly, 24th Street is served by the 13 bus, a Valley Metro bus route which runs every half hour down Buckeye Road. With the Skytrain being free to ride and open to the public, that means that if somebody is traveling from, say, Mesa or Tempe, and they need to be somewhere on Buckeye Road, they could transfer from the light rail to the Skytrain and then use that to get to the bus. I mean, the alternative is taking the light rail downtown, transferring to the B line, and then transferring to the bus. So it's the same number of transfers, it's the same cost. So to test this out, I picked a random Chinese restaurant near Buckeye Road, and I picked a Mexican restaurant in Tempe, and then in Apple Maps, Google Maps, and the transit app, looked for the fastest way between them, and all 3 of them showed the Skytrain. So, of the 38,000 people who use the Skytrain every day, my guess is that close to 38,000 of them use the Skytrain to get to their flight, or a parking lot, their rental car, or their job at the airport. You know, the stuff you're supposed to use it for. But I love the idea that in theory, this line can be used for a regular non-airport commute too. So yes, I think that this counts as part of the city's public transportation network. And if it does, that means it's one of the best lines in the entire city because it runs 24 hours a day and at headways of just a few minutes, making it more frequent than any of the light rail or streetcar lines in the region. Anyway, this is the rental car center. The doors open on both sides here. You exit the vehicle from the platforms on the side, but you board from a platform between the 2 tracks. The rental car facility is very large, but I'm not here to rent a car and I don't really feel like wandering around. So let's get back on the Skytrain and ride it all the way to the other end at 44th Street. I don't think all the way is an understatement to make. This is going to take 15 minutes, but along the way we're going to go over one of the coolest pieces of infrastructure on the line.
Please hold on. This train is bound for Terminal 3 and Terminal 4. Next stop, 24th Street Station. Welcome to Phoenix Skyharbor International Airport. Hold on. This train is bound for Eastern Island Lot and 44th Street Station.
After stopping at 24th Street, Terminal 3 and 4 again, our next stop is the Economy Lot.
Next stop, Eastern Island Lot.
One problem though. there's a taxiway in the way, taxiway R to be exact, which connects the runways on the north and south side of the airport. Here, the Skytrain clears the taxiway not by going under it, but going over it. We go over a bridge 100 feet in the air. That's 30 meters. This was the first transit bridge in the world to go over an active taxiway. It is tall enough to allow a Boeing 747 or an Airbus A380 to pass underneath. Although no airline flies A380s to Phoenix, and the last regularly scheduled 747 served the Skyharbor in 2019. So we're not going over a 747, but we could. I mean, they fit underneath.
My dad's had 2 heart attacks. I don't have any heart issues, but I take care of my mom's side of the family, and I think it in my kids. And I don't think he does either. I think it's anxiety, personally. But you can't discount it. You gotta be sure that
Execute for East Economy Lot.
After the East Economy lot, the track makes a big U-turn, and that offers us a great glimpse at the bridge that we were just on over the taxiway. It gives you a good perspective on how impressive the engineering actually is.
Next stop, 44th Street Station.
Approaching the 44th Street station, last stop and transfer station to Line A of Valley Metro, as well as to Greyhound and Flixbus. For a while, light rail passengers could actually check their bags here at the transit station, and then they could take the Skytrain to the terminal without their bags. They've discontinued that service though. Made it to the 44th Street station. That took 15 minutes to reach from the rental car facility. Hey, you get a pretty good view of that super tall bridge over here. Now let's see what the connection is like to the light rail. Pedestrian bridge connects the Skytrain platforms with the light rail part of the station. There are ticket machines which you can use to buy a copper card, the card that you will need to ride Valley Metro. And good for visitors, there are also signs warning you about Arizona's heat. The light rail platforms are located downstairs at street level, but there are escalators and elevators, and the tracks are separated from the road so you don't have to interact with it at all. Westbound trains go to downtown Phoenix, while eastbound trains go to Tempe and Mesa. If you don't want to take the light rail, nearby there's also the Sudavaki Museum, which preserves the ruins of some structures built by the indigenous people who lived here from about 450 to 1450 AD. On top of all the other cool things that the Skytrain does, it also brings you straight to an archaeological museum. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Remember, we've got another video from Phoenix coming soon, another video about airport people movers coming soon, and lots of other stuff to look forward to. So if you enjoyed this video or learned something new, please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome. Thank you so much for watching today. We'll see you next time.